Hello, thank you for joining me on the mat again today. Welcome or welcome back to Yoga with Paige. Today we have a nice kind of gentle flow that is designed for period menstruation pain, but is also good for digestion issues or belly bloat. So if you are suffering from any of these minor lower body ailments, this flow will be perfect for you. I do recommend a strap and either a folded up blanket, a bolster, anything like that, just to make some of these postures maybe more comfortable and accessible to you as we really take care of our bellies. So we will start with a gentle warm up. We will not go too fast, but pick up the pace a little bit in the middle and then end with some nice postures on the back. So please feel free to modify any of these, skip any of them that don't feel good, but hopefully this will be a healing practice for you, and whenever you're ready, we can begin in a nice easy seat. So having your strap and your other props near you, we will be reaching those here in just a minute. I will add some nice background music on for you and just really focus on allowing yourself to take up space. So allow your belly to become full as it needs to be. Coming into the breath as you settle in to the practice here today. Sit bones are rooting down on the mat. Your feet are crossed at the ankles. Perhaps closing the eyes here, just noticing what is going on today in your body. How are you feeling? Perhaps you're feeling a little sluggish, lower energy, or maybe a little bit of discomfort. Take a nice big inhale in through the nose and exhale out through the nose, letting the belly become full, letting everything hang out, letting yourself be in your natural form. Finding a few more breaths. And we can gently blink the eyes open if you found them closed. Find your nice easy seat. Take the right hand to the left knee and the left arm reaches overhead. Finding a big side body stretch, using this hand on the knee to kind of anchor you down so you can really reach over as far as you can. Holding here for about 2 to 3 breaths. Breathing big, open up through the side body. Keeping the sit bones down on the mat. And on your next exhale, keeping this right hand on the knee, sweep that left arm in front, taking it behind you. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, twisting over your left shoulder. Exhale back to center, release the hands to begin again. Left hand comes to the right knee. Sweep this right arm big overhead. Create space. Let everything kind of stretch out. And exhale, sweep that right arm before your chest as you come into your twist, so lifting up, nice tall spine, big breath in. Exhale, gentle twist. No force, at all here today. We're finding ease, creating ease in the body. Hopefully the mind a little as well too. Exhale, come back through center. Finding your blanket, bolster, however have you, and we are coming into a seated straddle. So extend the legs out to the corners of the mat. Root in, flex your feet. Take your prop right before the hips. Take your time to find what feels good and supportive to you here. We can kind of rest our arms up on top. We can even find a little hug here. Maybe rest your belly down. Listen to your body and let yourself release. Let yourself melt. A gentle opening of the pelvis. Perhaps allowing yourself to come down a little bit more as you breathe and open. Releasing tension from the shoulders, from the neck, from the forehead. Find one more deep, loving breath. And carefully begin your ascension back up. Pressing up, we can take the blanket, bolster, whatever away. We don't need that at the moment. And grab your strap as we come in through a little staff pose. So wrapping the strap. I'm ready for a hug. Wrapping the strap around your left foot. Take your right foot in to the inner thigh here, keeping your hips nice and square. And then just using the strap to really pull yourself forward. So we won't be bending over too far. We can also place the blanket on top of the leg if you'd like a little more support there for your belly. Sitting up tall, the shoulders are down. Waking up through the back of the leg. 2 more breaths. And then you can release the strap down, just let it rest there. Take this right knee in, cross it over the left leg, and just hug your knee into the chest. So really starting to kind of wake up through the glutes. Finding some comfort here. You can make this a bigger twist if you want. By really hugging yourself in, maybe going the opposite way. Maybe you want to find a little bit of movement here that might make you feel a little bit better, especially if you're here for some gassy, floaty digestion reasons. Or if you want a little bit more of a soothing moment. And carefully releasing on your next exhale, planting back, coming through our staff pose, picking up your strap, wrapping it around this right foot as you bring the left in. Situate yourself, sit up nice and tall, and breathe. Using the strap to pull you a little bit closer. Nothing too crazy here today. Feeling the lungs inflate and deflate. Last big breath. Then release the strap down and hug your left knee in, crossing it over your leg. Find what you need here. Sending yourself some loving, healing energy wherever you are. Exhale, carefully come back through your staff pose to grab your strap and once again set it aside. We're going to come into a little child pose. Taking a few moments there, you can make this knees together or knees apart, your big toes are together. We are preparing to kind of ramp up the movement a little bit. So we'll be matching breath to movement for a little modified salutation. And then finding a few more movements before releasing down onto our back. Beautiful. So one big inhale in child pose. And then on your exhale, take the hands underneath the shoulders, round through the back, cat pose. Inhale, walk the hands forward, pull your chest into a little baby sphinx, cobra, or upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog, hips up. One full breath here, inhale. And exhale, come back down onto the knees, cat pose, round. Inhale, child. We'll take that about 2 more times. Exhale, cat. Inhale, chest opener. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale, cat. Child. Finding this last one on your own, moving at your own pace. And meeting in our child pose. Finding a few breaths there. Settle in, take a moment. Notice how you feel. And then we do meet in a downward facing dog. So lift up onto the knees. Send the hips up. Downward facing dog. Ground down through this right heel. Send the left leg up, 3-legged dog. Bend the knee. Stack the hips. Send that flexed foot to the other side of the room. Press away from the mat. Grip through the fingers. Send your awareness to the pelvis. Squeezing. Let's get the blood flowing. Beautiful. Back to 3-legged dog. Tuck the knee in, high to the chest. Plant it on the outside of this left hand, coming into a little lizard. So this is an intense hip opener. If you want to drop the right knee and come into a little low lunge instead, you are more than welcome to do that. If you need to place blocks here to come up, give yourself a little bit more space on the hands, please do that as well. Now we can find a few little rocks here. or a static stretch. About 2 more breaths. Keeping the shoulders down away from the ears, chest is open. And if we were up in lizard pose, now we can drop that knee and come into pigeon pose. Carefully release yourself down, placing blocks underneath the hip here, underneath the knee. We need a little bit more help. Taking our first few breaths with the hands in front. Lifting up nice and tall, settle in. Release any tension you may be holding in the hips right now. And carefully walk the fingertips out, coming onto palms. We can stay up here. Maybe we reach the chest all the way down. Take a big inhale. Lift up on the hands if you took your chest down. Taking this right arm and exhale, thread it underneath the left, really creeping those fingertips over. Coming to lie down on the right shoulder. Finding a little thread the needle variation. Finding about 2 breaths. And then carefully unravel, press yourself back up. Hands come back underneath the chest. And we take the legs back, child pose. Preparing to do that again. So come back into your downward facing dog, moving slowly, carefully, with love. Now your right leg sweeps up, knee bends, and we stack the hips, pressing away from the mat, away from the floor. Breathe. 3, 2, squeeze a little bit more. 1. Exhale, 3-legged dog. Bring the knee in high through the chest. Plant it on the outside of that right hand. Find your variation. Check in. Take what you need. This is your practice. Your body will guide you. Breathing fully into the lower belly, into the small of the back, reaching the left heel back. Lowering down onto the knee if we haven't already. And heel toe that foot over to the other edge of the mat. Settling into pigeon pose. Just like the other side. Our first few breaths, we have our chest lifted up to the sky. Heart is open. We are here in the now. And carefully lower your chest, walking the fingertips out. Nice long limbs. And this time, the left arm scoops underneath the right, and exhale. Find your thread the needle. One last breath. Carefully come back up, walk the hands back, press yourself back. Take a nice wide child pose here. Maybe we want to place our blanket, our bolster underneath our hips, underneath our belly. Or maybe you want to surrender down closer to the earth, sinking the hips back to the heels. Let yourself be. And know that you are whole and complete in this moment, no matter how you feel. Everything is temporary. In this next, we're going to lift the head, bring the knees back together, pull through the hands to come back onto the chest. Take one big breath to reach the arms out. Just let yourself fall. Maybe the forehead comes down to the mat. Finding length in the spine, awareness in the body. And then we're going to roll onto our backs, or however you would like to get there if that is not comfortable for you. Just take a nice little roll and lie here for a moment. Feeling what there is to feel, letting gravity weigh you down. And when you're ready, come into a reclined bound angle, sending the soles of the feet together, placing the hands on the inner thighs. Letting your mind quiet down. Coming back to the breath. Taking note of anything you feel, some digestion happening. Noticing any areas you may be holding on to some stress. Consciously let that go. And when you're ready, bring the knees back up to the ceiling. Feet are planted together. Carefully let both of the knees drop to the left side, finding a very mild and gentle twist. Letting your hips draw down into the earth. Perhaps letting your head roll to your right shoulder. Opening the legs back up to another reclined bound angle. Maybe this time allowing the arms to stay extended out to the sides. Really use the space that you have around you. Use it to your advantage. Letting the knees travel down, down, down into the mat. Letting gravity do all the work for you. Letting your body open, and release. And closing your book, bringing the knees back up and letting them fall carefully to the right side. Letting your breath fill your body. Letting it fill all of the corners of your mind while you let everything else leave. Let it float away for the next few minutes. You can return to those things later. Coming back onto your back, extending your right leg long, taking your left knee into the chest, then grabbing hold using your strap if you need to around your foot again, or grabbing onto the inner arch of your foot or the ankle and finding a half happy baby. So drawing the knee by the ribs, opening up here, we can send the foot higher up to the ceiling, really drawing it down. We can bring it in closer. Active with the right leg, keeping it nice and long. Letting it support you, finding that balance within your body. And with this next exhale, release the left leg down, extending it long and picking up the right. Finding what feels good to you. And then breathe. Big breath in and out. This time keeping your hold on the right leg, sending the left leg up to meet it, and coming into a full happy baby. Maybe finding a gentle little sway back and forth. Giving your lower back some love. And staying here for some more time if you need. Releasing everything down, coming into corpse pose. When it calls to you, when you are ready to take your final position, maybe take a nice big stretch here first, and then relax. Tucking the shoulder blades in, the palms face up. Just observing the rhythm of your breath. Enjoying a few moments of absolute stillness. Continuing to breathe, letting the breath draw you back in, letting your exhales drift your thoughts away. Melting down into the earth, becoming one with its surface. Letting its energy envelope you, draw you down, and wrap you in a nice warm hug, a nice soft embrace. Allow it to fully hold you. And as you begin to become aware of your senses, your fingers, your toes, the rest of your body, you can blink the eyes open, coming back into your surroundings. Carefully rolling to one side and giving yourself time to gently come to a seat. Where we can take one final big breath together. Bringing hands to heart center. I thank you so very much for joining me today and allowing me to guide you here on the mat. I hope we found some healing, and I send you all my love. Until next time, my dear friend.